This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 576 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Today's tip is brought to you by EquestrianCollections.com. Visit them for a world of choices in equestrian shopping. Hello, Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the Horses in the Morning Show, episode number 312, featuring Dr. Gordon Chang from Omega Alpha. Dr. Chang stops by the show every month to help us horse folks understand the perplexing health issues that our horses can have. Today, demystifying detoxification. I dare you to say that 3 times fast. But first, a word about today's sponsor, EquestrianCollections.com. When dedicated equestrians need quality name brand products for themselves, their horses, or their stables, they go to EquestrianCollections.com. Why, you may ask? Because of the astounding variety of top name brand products that can be found there. EquestrianCollections.com knows that you want products that you can count on, and they have thousands of them available at competitive prices. And they don't stop there. You can also take advantage of savvy shopper email programs, rider reward programs for your stable or club, and even sign up for special unlimited shipping. No matter whether you jump in the meter 15 classes, chase equitation points all the way to Congress or to the Nationals, or just enjoy big sky country aboard your horse, EquestrianCollections.com has the name brand products and great service that you need to help you enjoy your horse time to the fullest. Visit them today, EquestrianCollections.com. Now, enjoy today's tip.
All right. Well, Dr. Chang is on the line, of course. He is the brains and the brawn behind Omega Alpha Pharmaceuticals. And first of all, good morning, Dr. Chang. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Jamie. Happy New Year, Glenn.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
I don't think we've talked to you since maybe right before Christmas. So I hope everything went well with you and yours.
Very well, thank you. Too much turkey over the holidays.
That's today's topic.
See, and speaking of turkey, there's that chemical in turkey that they say makes people go to sleep, and it's tryptophan. And then do you use tryptophan in any sort of your supplements to calm down?
No, actually, no, we don't. And the reason we didn't use tryptophan in any of our calming formulas is because way back when, tryptophan used to be on the FEI hit list. I don't think it's there anymore, but it used to be one of the banned substances on the FEI list. So we stayed away from that one.
Wow,
But it's a naturally occurring amino acid.
See, he's so much smarter than me. I just thought it was a joke, and he's like, "No, seriously, it's illegal."
It was not anymore. It used to be, but it's changed its status. The status.
So if you want to use it now and fall asleep during your test, that's okay.
Not a problem.
Okay.
So, Dr. Chang, are all of your supplements non-testable? I mean, they're all kept within the FEI guidelines?
I would say in today's testing climate, it is. The problem with it is that it changes all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So based on what's allowable today, nothing will test positive. So we are okay, all right? If we apply the rules from whatever they're testing for today.
Okay,
next year might be different, but for today, it is safe.
That's great. I had no idea. You know, you've got so much stuff to help during competitions. And, I mean, I always check the ones that I have used during competition are very, they're legal, I guess, if you will. But I had no idea that everything was. That's great. Well, you came on today to talk about detoxification, and I think it's a great topic for after the new year for humans. But we're going to get into it with the horses. So tell us what it is and why it's important.
Well, one of the things, I mean, every one of us, the humans, I mean, we all think of detoxification because we do recognize that during the year, during our lifetime, we have consumed a lot of toxins in our system that came in from the environment, that came in from the food, that were generated by the bacteria in our gut. And whilst the body can process a certain amount, it's like anything else. If you increase the toxin load on your system, sooner or later the body runs out of the ability to process all these toxins. I would say 50 years ago, your horse would have no problem because we didn't use as much pesticides out on the free range. There weren't that many toxins in the air, not that many toxins in the water. Nowadays, I mean, if you look at what's out there, there is no longer anything called pristine land anymore, right? And even if you get your hay for your horse from an area where nobody sprays or from a field where nobody sprays, I guarantee you, Farmer Brown, two parcels over, sprays. And if he sprays, then every time it rains, guess where it ends up? Ends up on your field, right?
Yeah.
With people, we can get rid of some toxins by just by washing the food that we eat, the fresh fruits and vegetables. But a lot of people don't wash the hay for the animals, all right? And even if you did wash the hay, you can't get all the toxins out. So there's always that toxin load that you get into the horses. And the body, there's no magic to get rid of toxins from the system. There's no. I know when you take when people go on a cleanse, they think it's a magical process where you take these things and voila, the toxins disappear. Well, really and truly, the toxins don't really disappear that quickly. It takes a sweet time to disappear because you know what? It didn't get in there overnight, and it's not going to get out overnight either. So detoxification it's a process. It's like sweeping your house. If every so often you sweep your house, you get rid of the dirt, but you never get rid of all the dirt. You keep ahead of the dirt. That's what you're trying to do with a cleanse. And the process of doing it, in the house, the analogy with the house is that you have a broom, you sweep. That's your process. In the body, you have certain organ systems that will help you get rid of toxins. Things like the liver, especially the liver. The kidneys also help. The sweat glands, right? The urine, all and the expired air also are roots of which toxins can get out. However, a lot of these toxins still have to be converted to a form which can then be excreted. So that's why the liver is very important. That is one of the key organ systems that a lot of people don't even think about when you're talking about a detoxification. With people, when people say cleanse, the first thing they think of, laxatives. They think if they're sitting on the porcelain throne for a day or 2 days or a week, right? If you're not sitting on the porcelain throne for a week, you're not happy because you didn't think you did a cleanse, right? Well, really, if you're sitting on the porcelain throne, all you've done is gotten rid of what's called the surface toxins, but you still have a lot of toxins that's trapped in your cells. And what the liver does is that the liver helps break down some of those trapped toxins and gets rid of it. Now, the question everybody asks is, well, why bother getting rid of toxins? Because if the toxins are not doing me any harm right then and there, why bother getting rid of it? Well, one of the things is that we have to remember is that your body is in a state of balance. And if you tip the balance by having too much toxins in the system to one side, what happens is that can start the ball rolling for you to get ill or sick, right? And what we're basically trying to do with a detox is a preventative measure to stave off the inevitability of getting ill. And even if you do get ill, it's not as bad because your systems are there that can actually help you fight. Right? So you're not as badly off as if you're toxic. I guess the analogy I like to use for that is that, everybody knows alcoholics, or somebody in their life who's an alcoholic, or know somebody around who's an alcoholic. And what you'll see with alcoholics is that they can abuse alcohol for years with apparently no ill results. But then all of a sudden, boom, their liver gives out. And that's because, right, so what was happening there is that the liver can take a lot of abuse, and there's a lot of what we call reserve in the liver. But if these people were doing detoxes on a regular basis, what would have happened was that the liver probably still would have given up because it couldn't take the abuse, but it would just have deferred it a little further on down the road. So for those of us who like to imbibe a little bit too much, I would strongly suggest a liver detox every so often. And the same thing can be said for animals. I mean, a lot of issues, health issues, things like colic and so on, can be related back to toxins in the system. All right. One of the biggest sources of toxins that people don't realize is the bacteria in the gut, and hence we go back again to the probiotics. All right. And so I guess the take-home message on this detox diatribe or blurb is to say to people, a detox is fine, but you got to look after all the other systems at the same time. Things like boosting the immune system is also very helpful for maintaining good health.
Okay, so you're saying if we're going to detox our horses, we still are going to have to kind of supplement other areas while we're doing a detox?
Yes, not in addition to, not as opposed to whilst we're doing it. In the performance industry, this is especially important because I know a lot of people give their horses a lot of supplements, a lot of stress during performance because of the naturally occurring things like corticosteroids, which the body normally puts out under situations of stress, right? All that extra adrenaline under situations of stress. All that stuff has to be broken down, right? I always tell a story about treat your body like a factory. Now, if you think of it as a factory, normally the liver is the heart that actually gets rid of all the toxins, right? That's one of the major places of getting, I shouldn't say the only place, but one of the major places. And if normally you could handle one tractor-trailer load of toxins a day, what happens during competition and antibiotic treatment and illness and all that sort of things? They're producing at least maybe 2 truckloads a day, 2 tractor-trailers a day. So what happens, the body can only handle one. What does it do with the other one? Well, it starts putting it into storage. And if you think of the factory, it goes into the warehouse section. But if after a while the warehouse gets filled, so the toxins then get into the corridors of the factory, then it gets into the actual processing rooms of the factory. Well, once it gets into the processing rooms of the factory, all of a sudden the efficiency of which this organ system works drops tremendously, because if you think about it, there's no movement around it. There's a lot of things that are blocking the movement. So all of a sudden, instead of handling 1 tractor-trailer load a day, you're probably handling half a tractor-trailer load. So you can see how we could go downhill with this.
So how exactly do you detox a horse then?
Well, what we have a product called Liver Flush, and basically what that does, the herbs in this product actually stimulates the liver to work overtime. So in the factory analogy, we've just put a second shift on, right? We put a second shift on to work overtime. Another thing that now we also know, if you work overtime, you generate a lot more heat in a factory, right? Normally the factory has air conditioning that can handle this heat. In the body, the analogy would be the equivalent of anytime you're working overtime, you're pumping out a lot more free radicals. Now, the body itself has compounds to look after extra free radicals, but it's like anything else. It's also helpful if we give the body some extra antioxidants, specifically targeting the liver, in the case of a liver flush, right? And our formula also has these compounds. These herbs also produce antioxidants which specifically target the liver, all right? So, and then last but not least, even after you've detoxified, got the factory's breaking down these things, you got to move it out to get it outside to dump it, the waste products, right?
Right.
And what we have, the herbs that we use also have the ability to increase blood flow through the liver, so it washes out the toxins into the general circulation. From there, it goes into the urine, and it also goes into the stool, all right? And when the animal urinates or evacuates its bowels, right, it gets rid of the toxins that way to the environment outside. So it's a process. That's what I'm trying to get across.
Right. Okay. So start with the liver flush and go from there. Well, I definitely, can see how it would work. Now, how often should you do something like this?
During competition, we suggest you probably do it 3 times a year, right? I would say in the springtime you do it, the end of summer, right, and also in the winter. So 3 times a year is sufficient.
Okay. Glenn, do you have any other questions? Because I know that you're wanting the human component of this, correct?
Yeah, I think I need the mental and physical detoxification. What do you do for the mental detoxification? Is that where a beach comes in, like in Hawaii?
A beach will come in, and I was going to say the mental part is sucking back on some more red wine, but that generally doesn't help the detoxification process.
See, what you do is you suck back the red wine first, and then you take some liver flesh after that.
There you go. Everything in moderation.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Chang, I got to talk to you about something.
Uh-huh.
We're playing like Words with Friends, a Scrabble game you play on your phone, and we have this challenge going between Jamie and I. And she was busting on all of these people who were beating her, who were playing the word QI, which I think is pronounced chi, right?
QI, yes.
Yes. And now, so does this mean that when you actually do detoxify your horses, that they're going to have a better chi after?
That is a good question. I don't know. I mean, chi is supposed to be your inner energy, but to be fair to you, my background is in Chinese medicine. I probably know as much about chi as the general public, or probably a little bit more than the general public. But, chi is usually associated with good health. So if you're in better health, maybe your chi gets better.
Ha! Told ya!
Well, I don't know about my chi, but I certainly feel like I know a little bit more about detoxification and how it really works. To listen to more horse health tips, just go to horsetipdaily.com and go to the topics drop-down menu on the left. They're all alphabetized and easy to find. If you want more Dr. Chang's awesome insights on horse health issues, you can tune into the Horses in the Morning show at horsesinthemorning.com and listen to his regular arrivals at the show on the first Monday of each month. Or you can go to the Omega Alpha website, omegaalpha.ca, and they've got a great education section right there. Don't forget to support our sponsors on Horse Tip Daily because they really do make these podcasts possible. Today's sponsor has been equestriancollections.com. Visit them today for a world of choices delivered right to your door. Please stop by the Horse Tip Daily Facebook page and let us know what you think of the tips you hear on the show. It's also a great place to tell us about topics you'd like us to cover on the show. You can subscribe to all of the great shows on the Horse Radio Network through iTunes or Zune and get your horse podcasts automatically downloaded to your iPod, Zune, or MP3 player. I'll be back again tomorrow with another new expert and a different horse tip. Until then, go ride your horse! The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.